You know, June the 26th isn't the most important date for most people, but in Morocco it represents the 1 year anniversary since the end of the COVID lockdown. And here I am outside Dakar School once again, where I started all of my COVID podcasts. And I feel as if I've been here more times than most of the students, since this school has suffered quite a few closures during the lockdown period.
1 year on, how much has life returned to normal? And what do Moroccans think about COVID-19 now? In some ways, it doesn't feel like a year has passed. In others, it seems like COVID was from a different time. People's attitudes to the virus has certainly, obviously changed. This time last year, just being outside was a bit too much for some people. The nation had endured one of the world's toughest lockdowns for the previous 3 months. Many people had not set foot outside since mid-March. When lockdown ended, the streets were still quiet. COVID signs were everywhere and were obeyed. The signs are still here, but now they are ignored. COVID furniture is walked past as if it were nothing more than cheap souvenirs of a time no one wants to remember. A year ago, there was fear of another lockdown and a second wave. Very few, if any, think that will happen now.
It's difficult for Moroccans to see COVID-19 as anything like the crisis it's seen as in other countries. Here it's an irritation, an inconvenience perhaps, and a slight one at that. For people of Morocco, COVID is an issue for the government to deal with, and that's to do with opening schools and borders and getting the economy back on track. But these are issues to do with the aftermath of COVID-19, not the crisis itself.
COVID is something that defined 2020, but has failed to leave much of an impact on 2021. Mosques, theatres, cinemas, gyms, they're all open now. Just schools and Ramadan were exceptional. But COVID hasn't gone away. On June 26, 2020, when lockdown was lifted, Morocco had 2,759 active cases. 1 year later, the figure is 4,088. June 26, 2020 saw just 1 death. This June 26th, there were 5 deaths. There were 295 new cases last June 26th. This time, the day brought 493 new cases. Yet, despite these numbers, people dismiss COVID as a thing of the past, and maybe with some justification. The low numbers in 2020 came after 3 months of a long and oppressive lockdown. The numbers in 2021 come after a year of a gradual return to normality. Active COVID cases have fluctuated around 3,500 to 4,500 since early March, and that seems to be a number Moroccans feel they can live with. Morocco's vaccination program has been a huge success, with the king and government receiving praise from other countries. Finally, hospitalizations are at an all-time low. This time last year, people sensed the worst was yet to come. Today, the feeling is the worst is behind us. The only visible remnant of a COVID life is the masks. The law is masks must be worn from the moment you set foot outside your home until you return. Yet, everywhere you look, it's plain to see that law is not adhered to. There is still a 300 dirham fine if you're caught not wearing a mask. However, if the police do approach, and it is most likely that they will not, They'll tell you to put your mask on rather than give you a fine. In fact, the police are one of the few groups of people who do wear the mask properly.
It's difficult to say how many people wear a mask properly or even wear it at all, but one thing that is certain is people don't care. If you choose to wear a mask, fine. If you choose not to, also fine.
As the schools close for the summer, there are just two remaining aspects of COVID life for people to deal with: the wearing of masks and an 11 p.m. curfew, both of which are treated by the public with a certain level of indifference. Moroccans point to France and Spain, who have relaxed a lot of their restrictions, as indicators that Morocco will soon do the same with the very few restrictions it has left in place.
There is a general expectation that by the end of the summer, Morocco will have returned to full normality, thanks to good management and good fortune. And what this means is that in 2022, COVID-19 and these masks will really be a thing of the past. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now.